Good evening, everyone. My name's Rudy Page, and welcome to our Community Wellness Dialogues. It's a one-to-one with Vasco Stevens. I've got my colleague here, Owen Winter from Fresh FM Radio London, and the subject today is about eating for prostate health. Good evening, both.
Good evening.
Good evening, Rudy.
Great to see you again. And of course, we're going to start off with the worst foods for prostate health, which very quickly I'll run down the list for the Fresh FM Radio London listeners. Red and processed meat, white potatoes, calcium and dairy products and sugar, canned tomato products, fresh fries, otherwise known as chips, farmed salmon, and artificial sweeteners. Vasco, please explain what we're all going to eat or should be eating in the future. Thank you. Over to you.
Well, if you appreciate the changes that are taken in the world, it probably be agri something or other, or beetles and bugs for protein, the way the world is going. Fortunately, we're not there. But all of these food types you're seeing here, red and processed meat, we know that that's not good for the human body because most of these, especially red meat, are full of saturated fat, which is not good for your blood flow, not good for any part of your body, your heart, your prostate, or anything like that. And of course, processed meat, we're talking about bacon and ham and other like salamis and sausages, all processed meat, usually full of salt, in addition to the saturated fat. And really, we really want our blood to flow freely. And of course, if we get too much fat in the blood, the capillaries can't take the blood to the nether parts of the body, so to speak. Okay, white potatoes, we would call them English or Irish potatoes as opposed to sweet potato. Now you can eat sweet potato to your heart's delight. Okay, it's probably the best food in the world. But when it comes to this type of potato, it is very high on the glycemic index, meaning that if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, then it is not something to eat because it will spike your blood sugar. And of course, if it's going to do that, that's going to have a knock-on effect on your prostate gland as well. Okay. Mm-hmm. Calcium and dairy products. Well, we know that most dairy products are full of saturated fat. And especially if we're going to talk about milk. When is a cow milked?
When it's had calf, really.
When it's had a calf. And what happens then when the cow has a calf?
It produces enough milk to feed the calf, I take it.
I like it. That's very good, yes. But remember that cows are given lots of antibiotics. And the milk at that particular time, there is a high percentage of the female hormone, estrogen, in the milk, yes?
Yeah.
And estrogen and testosterone, which is the male hormone, they compete for space in your body. So as a male, you would have more testosterone than estrogen. Yeah. A woman, of course, would have more estrogen than testosterone, okay? And what we get as we get older, we get this imbalance in those two hormones. So from the time we get to our 40s, and it may be occurring a bit earlier these days, we start to get a little bit of a tummy and, the sex drive drops off a little bit. And that is caused by an imbalance now in the two hormones, testosterone and estrogen. So we are seeing an increase in estrogen and a decrease in testosterone. Yeah. And that's why the man's sex drive is not as powerful as when he was in his 20s or 30s. All right. Yeah. So one of the things we would have to do then is rebalance those two hormones. And this is what dairy products and other and sugars and all of those things do to your hormones. They create imbalances.
Mhm.
Calcium, of course, one thing about calcium, people should never ever take a calcium supplement. You should get all the calcium your body requires from your food, and I'm not talking about dairy.
Yeah.
If you say eat spinach, kale, broccoli,
Yeah.
you can get a lot of calcium from there. Yep.
Yeah.
But if you take a supplement, then what could happen is that you could have the calcium, instead of getting into the bones, swimming around in your blood, something called hypercalcemia, which is not conducive to good health.
Yeah.
Right. Now, sugar. Sugar it creates an acidic environment in the body. And cancer, of course, loves an acidic environment. Sugar causes cancer. Okay? And
Yeah.
you really should look closely at sugar. And people think, whenever we talk about high blood pressure, people automatically think about salt and sodium. But did you know that sugar is a greater cause of high blood pressure than salt?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you address sugar and cut it out of your diet as best you can, then you could dramatically improve your health. You reduce your risk of getting cancer, you reduce your risk of diabetes, and of course, prostate issues as well, right?
So Vasco, as you mentioned sugar, could I ask you, particularly those of us of Caribbean descent, talk about rum?
Yes. What about it? Have you got some to spare?
I'm thinking of sugar and rum.
Sugar and rum, yes. I hardly ever drink, but if you drink a lot of rum, then you could be taking in a lot of sugar. But let me also go leave rum and target sources, real serious sources of sugar. Cartoon drinks. People just go into shops and they pick up a drink. Oh, this is mango juice. I like it. That's so and so. I like it. And they don't read the labels. And there are three things you're looking for on those labels. You're looking for high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, one of the worst sugars you can put in your body. You're also looking at something called aspartame, and you're looking to see the word concentrate. And if you see the word concentrate, meaning that all the sugars have been concentrated, and those are the three things you have to look at, okay? Also, if you see any word to do with nutrition that ends in OSE, that's a sugar.
Okay.
Dextrose, lactose, sucrose, fructose, yes, they're all sugars. So people should get into the habit of looking at labels or and reading the boxes and see what they contain before they ingest any of these drinks and foods.
Can I ask a question as well? You're saying we shouldn't add calcium. What about vitamin D? Do we need to add? I mean, in the UK here, we're all told that we're lacking in vitamin D.
Yes.
So we normally take vitamin D supplements.
Yes.
Obviously, when we get to the good foods, there's going to be foods that give us vitamin D. But from my understanding, vitamin D in the UK and vitamin D in the West Indies is two separate things, really.
No, no, I wouldn't agree with that. Vitamin D is vitamin D, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you buy a product and it says it has vitamin D in it, you should really check it to see if it says D3.
Yeah.
Not just D, okay? Vitamin D, if it says it on the box and it's just D, that means it's synthetic.
Yeah.
And your body will not absorb it. Your body will see it as foreign, okay?
Yeah.
So it must say D3.
Yes.
But sunlight is sunlight irrespective of where we go in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to synthesize vitamin D3.
Yeah.
By sitting in the sun, okay, particularly hot sun, and allowing the heat from the sun to hit your body.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the best way to do it. There are some foods they say that have some vitamin D, like mushrooms. They say that salmon and some fish have vitamin D, but I wouldn't rely on them.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I would rather take a vitamin D supplement.
And what sort of strength would you
Sorry?
talk? What sort of strength are we talking about? Because we have vitamin D 1,000 up to 3,000.
Yes.
So
Okay. Well, when the medical profession and other professionals talk about vitamin D3, and they talk about you should take about 5,000 IU, international units,
yeah.
the information they're putting out is not targeted at you and I.
Yeah.
It is targeted for people with lighter complexions, Caucasians, and other people with light complexions.
Yeah.
Now we have a natural sunscreen called melanin that gives us our dark complexion. Yes.
Yes.
And a white person can go in. Sorry, European or Caucasian person can go in the sun, bare their arms and legs for 15 minutes, and they can synthesize enough vitamin D for that day. But you and I, with melanin, our type of melanin, we would have to sit in the same sun for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we hear that, we should do this and do that, just think, does that apply to me in its entirety?
Yeah.
You with me?
Vasco, can you explain synthesize, as you've used that word a number of
Yes. Well, it's just another way of saying it's produced or created.
or absorbed even in the body.
Yeah.
Absorption.
And another thing that I should also say about vitamin D3 here, or getting it from sunlight, to break it down into its simplest way of expressing it, is that people are being invited to take statins to reduce their cholesterol levels, yes?
Yeah.
But statins will reduce your cholesterol quite dramatically, but it is cholesterol that actually helps the ultraviolet rays from the sun create vitamin D3 in your body. So be aware of that, and remember that you should not reduce your cholesterol through statins to any great degree. Okay, and I'm talking about cholesterol. The key question with regard to that is not how high your LDL is or how low your HDL is. The key to it is the ratio between the two types of cholesterol. And that ratio should be under 5. So if at any time your GP asks you about, tells you that your cholesterol is high, just ask this question: what is the ratio between the HDL and the LDL? And if it's over 5, then you have to address it. And there are simple ways to address high cholesterol by increasing your fiber intake, yes? And there are other foods that are beneficial that have very little or no cholesterol. And one I talk about quite a lot is called blackstrap molasses, which, believe it or not, is a byproduct of producing sugar from the sugarcane. Yes, full of the B vitamins, full of manganese, full of magnesium, full of iron, and absolutely wonderful. All right. The next one here is canned tomato products. Although tomatoes are good, because if they're extremely red, they have lots of lycopene, which is a very prostate-friendly product, isn't it? Very prostate-friendly compound, lycopene. All right. So the reason why canned tomato products are off the menu is because most things in a can have lots of salt, and you want to keep away from that. Another thing about cans as well is that cans are coated in a compound, a chemical, bisphenol A, which has been proven to be a cancer-causing compound. So that's why we shouldn't be eating from cans. Got it?
Okay, yeah, great.
Right. French fries, of course, most of them will come from the white potatoes, which is high on the glycemic index. But then when they turn them into chips, they fry them in certain oils that are not healthy for the whole body, much less the prostate. Yes, if you go to a chip shop, they're not going to be frying their chips in coconut oil or avocado oil. That's got to be, it's going to be a trans fat. Something like sunflower oil, canola oil is very popular, but in nature, there's no plant called a canola. That comes from something called rapeseed. You know, that yellow stuff you see if you go to the countryside?
Yeah.
And if animals don't eat a plant in nature, why should you be using a product from that plant?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that applies to rapeseed, and I understand that it also applies to something called soy or soya.
Soya, yeah.
Yes, soya is a major hormone disruptor. All right. It increases estrogen in bodies, and it reduces testosterone. So keep away from, but it is almost ubiquitous now. It's in about 60% of the products that you buy.
Yeah, I was going to say it. A lot of people have got meat supplements as soya.
Yeah.
Soya supplements. So you're saying that's really doing a worse thing than the meat, really.
Well, just as bad, yes. I wouldn't advise anybody to go in there at all.
Yeah.
But
talking about meat, sorry to Vasco. Now, because I know a lot of people are going to ask a similar question. We in the West Indies, us West Indians, we season our meat correctly, and we cure it correctly. Unlike in the Europeans, they would eat raw meat. Now, if you had a choice, is a well-seasoned meat better than unseasoned meat or
yes.
half-seasoned meat?
Yeah, the answer is of course yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because when you're using seasonings, right, you're actually putting things in that meat or on that meat that will benefit your body. You're using herbs and spices and other things that may reduce the adverse effect of that meat when it gets into your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any meat that is seasoned, marinated properly, is going to do less harm than meat that isn't.
So
and
sorry.
And I noticed that some people like to eat their meat rare.
Yeah.
I think that's another word for raw.
Yeah.
And it is not healthy at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because then the other question is well seasoned meat better digested than unseasoned meat or medium rare meat?
That's a question that I wouldn't say it's better digested. It depends a lot on your own individual digestive system.
Yeah.
It also depends on what you're eating with the meat, what type of vegetables and lots of other things that come into play.
Yeah.
Okay. But animal protein, let's be blunt about it. Animal protein and human protein don't necessarily sit together.
Yeah.
Yep. We should not really be avid meat eaters. Our systems are not built to eat meat. Otherwise, we would have long canines like lions and tigers.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, if you season whatever meat it is properly, then of course you'll be able to digest it better than if it is not well seasoned.
Yeah.
And if you're eating it with vegetables like cabbage and kale and carrots, sweet potato, then of course you'll be able to digest it better. But remember one thing, if I can get a little bit esoteric here, meat is also acid forming in the body.
Yeah.
Okay. Meat, rice, milk, they're all acid forming in your body. They're not going to alkalize your body, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And really, you need your body to be more alkaline than acidic.
Yes, get that.
Right.
So on a balance, I mean, obviously, we're looking at this list here, and it's going to be quite difficult for most average people to remove. Well, not average people, but most people in the UK to remove, all of these products. I mean, so limiting it will be the best thing. I.e., for argument's sake, meat. Now, if we obviously depending on your age, because I think your age, it determines how well your digestive system is, again, depending on your age. So instead of having meat every week, you have it once a month, maybe. Well, once a month. So everything once a month in balance is that, or that's obviously that's the best way to start, I take it.
Well,
reduce it.
There's a very good book called Reverse Diabetes Now,
yeah,
which I read in 1966 because I had a challenge with diabetes myself. And the doctor who wrote the book is one who thinks outside of the box. And he made a point that 50 years ago, the incidence of diabetes was not particularly high.
Yeah.
And that it is only in the last 50 years that suddenly people have started suffering from diabetes and cancers and all these kind of different health challenges. And he pointed the finger squarely at dairy products. Right. Okay. So he put forward a theory: cut out all dairy products from your diet for 21 days, because if you do something for 21 days, it's said to become a habit.
Yeah.
So cut out all dairy products. Yes. Milk, sugar, cheese, all of that stuff, meat, whatever. And he included fish as well in that. And he said you could eat any amount of rice and peas, plantain, sweet potato, any of those things, beans, pulses, whatever. But at the same time, if you were to add half a teaspoon of cinnamon into your diet, see what that would do to your blood sugar, okay? And try it from there.
Yeah.
So I did it 2006, and my blood sugar dropped quite dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for people who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, that is one of the first places I would start.
That's excellent news.
Take dairy products out of your diet completely. Because
also, yeah.
Sorry, go on. After you.
Yeah. Also, what when one decides that they're gonna reduce all these bad prostate unhealthy food, is it recommended that you have like a cleanser system first, and then change, or just?
Yes, that's what I always recommend. Have a washout first. Yes.
Yeah, that's great news.
Remember that part of the Bible which talks about putting new wine in old wineskins?
Yeah.
I think that applies here. Yes.
That applies. I got you.
Yeah. So what happens is that a lot of people have never had a washout in their lives, and what they have is old fecal matter. Yes. In their gut.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes that fecal matter prevents you from absorbing the nutrients from what you're eating. So you may be eating avocados, healthy food and all of that, but not deriving any benefits from them. That's because you've got old fecal matter in your stomach. Of course, you may also have tapeworms and ringworms, which are clapping their hands with glee that you're eating all this good stuff because they're going to get it and not you.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of that has to be factored in when you're thinking about changing your lifestyle and diet. But having said that, let me make one quick point. A lot of people who've been vegan and vegetarian for a long period of time, it is said that they're now showing certain deficiencies in their bodies. And the reason is that there are two particular acids called DHA and EPA that you get from meat. And their bodies are lacking in these two acids. So I usually say to people, there's nothing wrong in eating a piece of meat, but make it a chicken leg,
hmm
or a bit of fish or something, steamed fish.
hmm
Yeah, but come off the meat. Don't eat it every day.
Yeah.
Now, the other one here is farmed salmon.
Yeah.
And this is one of the worst things you can put in your body
Wow.
because these farmers are fed antibiotics and lots of chemicals to give them that pink or red color. And where they farm these salmons off the coast of Scotland and Norway and places like that, when the salmons poop, those chemicals leach into the water, into the seawater, and nothing, absolutely nothing grows under those pens that those salmon are farmed in.
Wow.
Seaweed is killed, everything.
Wow.
And imagine that going into your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with
That's going to
Christmas,
be a hard one for me because I don't like salmon. So you have
well,
to
no, not necessarily. This is farmed salmon.
farm salmon.
So when you go to your supermarket to buy salmon,
Yeah.
ask them if they have wild salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wild salmon, that's where you want to go. And it is better to eat wild salmon from a tin rather than eat farm salmon. Although eating from tins is not a healthy option, but
Yeah.
it's a lesser evil than eating the farm salmon. Okay.
That's fantastic news.
And then, of course, we come to the artificial sweeteners.
Yeah.
And we really don't want to go near them at all. Yes. If you want a sweetener, try a little bit of honey. Make sure it's darker honey and make sure it's a good quality honey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of honey out there is simple carbohydrate. And you don't want that. You want honey that brings certain benefits to your body. And I am not going to talk about any particular brand on this particular presentation. All right.
Yes.
Right. So artificial, and another good one is what the one I mentioned earlier, blackstrap molasses.
Mm.
All right. Comes with lots and lots of health benefit, no cholesterol. And you can use that to sweeten your tea. Even if you're cooking and you want to have a little sweet taste, like when people are preparing curries, I understand they put a bit of sugar and that's, start the process that way. You can actually put your curries in a pot and put a little bit of blackstrap molasses in it as well, and you get the same curry taste. I've actually tried it myself.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, I'm going into the countryside on Thursday, and there's some people who, I'm going to see who can't get blackstrap molasses, and they've asked me to bring them some. So I'm going to take 6 jars with me when I'm going up to Manchester to see some folk.
Wow.
All right. So that is what you shouldn't be eating. Let's cheer you up now with what you can't eat. Okay, I've depressed you first, so let's
For half an hour.
Yeah.
how about this one? Drinking milk regularly doubles the risk of prostate problem. And we talked about that because of the estrogen in milk and the antibiotics. Okay.
And we grew up. Those of us of a certain age actually grew up.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot of milk.
Yes, but our milk, although it would be, as soon as the calf is born, our animals weren't fed a lot of antibiotics.
Okay.
All right. And a lot of our milk was goat milk as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So eating meat every day will triple your risk, and not eating vegetables quadruples the risk.
Wow.
So you must eat your vegetables, okay? Your sweet potato, your broccoli, your spinach, your cauliflower. All of those you should eat regularly. And of course, exercise, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Both types of exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
I noticed Rudy started to grade even before I said it.
Yeah.
All right, Rudy, you're ahead of the game, yes. All right, now what can you do about it? And here's your list of things you can eat to your heart's delight. Avocados.
Yeah, love that.
Avocados contain a compound called beta-sitosterol, which is said to be particularly good for the prostate. Okay. It is also an unsaturated fat and full of other vitamins like vitamin E and K. Very good to eat. To my mind, it's the second best fruit in the planet. After this one here, after coconut.
Yeah.
Right? Sweet potatoes, tomatoes with the lycopene, broccoli, and turmeric.
Yeah.
This is the best herb in the world,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But anytime you're going to use it with black pepper, yes?
Okay.
It always goes with black pepper because the compound in turmeric works synergetically with the compound in the black pepper.
And what does that do to the prostate, the turmeric?
Exceptionally good for the prostate. It has anti-cancer, antiviral, antibacterial.
Yeah.
It's perhaps the best herb in the world.
Wow.
Yes?
Yeah.
Helps with your prostate health. And of course, the cousin to turmeric is ginger,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not as good, in my opinion, as turmeric, but equally as good,
Mm-hmm.
or nearly as good. Now, this one here, cayenne pepper,
Yes.
blood flow. It helps with heart issues and it helps to increase your blood flow
Yeah.
because it helps remove fat from the blood.
Okay.
Okay? And there's a direct link between low testosterone in men and heart issues. And this will help tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Cinnamon, a blood thinner, exceptionally good as well for heart issues. And anything that will thin your blood is also good for the prostate, especially when it comes to ED. Okay?
Yeah.
And you know what ED is, of course.
Yes.
Right. Allspice, also known as Jamaican allspice or pimento.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another good spice for the prostate. Cloves as well. All of these have different benefits that they bring to the body as a whole, to the prostate as well. Holy basil, red kidney beans, a plant source of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas. If you don't eat meat and you want protein, yes, you can get it from here. Okay, black eyed peas. Here we come with wild salmon.
Yeah.
Sardines are particularly good as well, right?
Yeah.
Green tea, very good for keeping cancer at bay. And of course, spinach. And a lot of people eat spinach because it gives energy, but spinach is full of zinc.
Mm.
And 80% of the zinc in your body is said to be in your prostate gland.
Sorry, say that again, sorry?
80% of the zinc in your body is said to be in your prostate gland.
So what happens if your prostate's been removed?
Well, the zinc wouldn't be there then. That's the simple answer. Yes? If your prostate gland is gone, it's gone, unfortunately. So the zinc would not be there. But to explain why zinc is there, because zinc also helps to promote testosterone.
Right.
Okay? And zinc is, it strengthens the sperm as well. If you're a young man looking to start a family, it's important because you get healthy sperm when you take lots of zinc in, right? But you shouldn't overdo it on the zinc, about 30 milligrams per day. Yes, 30 mg
So
is
is
adequate.
that
Because
one
if you,
tablet, how many tablets would that be? Because most people.
well, it depends on what you bought from the chemist, yes, or whoever. Because it can say one tablet has 30 mg or one tablet has 20 or what have you.
Okay.
Okay. But again, spinach and other foods will contain zinc. And as I said, zinc boosts testosterone and it also protects sperm because the sperm is going to go into a fairly acidic environment when you let them go to your body. And they need the protection of zinc. I think you understand what I've said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It makes them swim well.
Yes, it makes them strong. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So these are some of the foods that you should eat to your heart's delight. And if you look here, you'll notice that cinnamon and cayenne pepper and ginger and turmeric, these are some of the herbs and spices that you can use to marinate your food.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And don't forget, anytime you're talking about turmeric, don't forget the black pepper.
Black pepper.
Right. What else can you eat? Supplements, vitamin A, which you get from the sweet potato or from carrots. Yes.
Yeah.
And vitamin A not only benefits the prostate, but it is good for your eyes. Remember, vitamin A is known as retinol. Yeah, sounds like some part of your body.
Yeah.
Your eyes have something called a retina.
Retina, yeah.
Right.
Yes. Vitamin D3, of course, does wonders in your body. About 6 weeks ago, I was getting a little pain on my left hip, and I was struggling to walk up any kind of incline or anything like that.
Mm.
And I couldn't for the life of me understand why I was getting a pain in my hip, because I don't normally get pains.
Mm.
And I came in and I thought, hold on, I haven't taken my vitamin D3 for a little while, for a couple of days. And I started taking vitamin D3 and the pain went away almost immediately.
Mm.
Okay. Vitamin E for energy and lots of other things. As I said, avocados and lots of other fruits and veg you can get it from. And of course, we get the underrated one in vitamin C.
Yeah.
Underrated, but it's the midfield player if you're a footballer or football fan.
Mm.
You know, they say that football games are lost or won in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the vitamin C is the midfield player.
Mm-hmm.
In the absence of vitamin C, the other vitamins are not absorbed as well as they should be.
Sorry, could you tell me what vitamin A is again? What do you need to? Is it just the vitamin, as in a tablet, vitamin A, or
I
is
don't
there,
recommend tablets. I think you ought to go to look first at your diet and what you're
Yeah.
eating.
and what do we need to eat to get vitamin A? I missed that, I think.
Carrots and sweet potato.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can juice these things and drink them, and they get into your system quicker.
Yeah.
All right. And there are lots of other foods. Just have a quick look at Google and say foods that contain vitamin A or vitamin C.
Yeah.
And you see a whole list of them there. All right. But vitamin C is underrated, and it's particularly important because it also gets mucus out of your system. Yep.
Yeah.
And remember that cancer thrives on mucus.
Yeah.
So that will help remove mucus. It will also help with colds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with zinc. And with winter coming now, you want to top up your body with vitamin C and zinc. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you something else that I told everybody else, so I will tell you as well. Boil the skins of grapefruit and lemon together and let it simmer down. And then every morning you take 2 tablespoons of that liquid. And late in the day, you take another 2 tablespoons. Got it?
Yeah.
And you know what's the name for that?
No idea.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's called chloroquine.
Okay.
There's a word being tossed around these days.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah.
Right, the pennies drop, yes?
Yeah, it has.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
you got it?
Yeah.
Right, and I did some tonight because I was down to my last bottle, and I've actually given it to some people, you know. Here's a bottle of this stuff for you. 2 tablespoons in the morning, preferably on an empty stomach, and 2 tablespoons late in the day. It will help prevent you from getting cold, and it will help prevent you from getting something else,
Yeah.
whose name I'm not going to mention.
No.
Right.
Okay.
Then we have selenium. There have been studies that show that selenium is also beneficial to the prostate gland. And to get selenium, you can get it from green leaf coriander, also known as cilantro, or you can get it from Brazil nuts. But when it comes to Brazil nuts, don't eat more than 2 per day. Okay? They're very fattening. And then we have another underrated mineral, which is magnesium. A lot of people who suffer with, should I say, skeletal issues and heart issues are very deficient in magnesium. And let me say that although blackstrap molasses contains magnesium, the best way to get magnesium into your system is to have a full bath in the bathtub. Put some magnesium flakes in there. And you can also put in some bicarbonate of soda and cider apple vinegar. And what happens is that the hot water opens up your pores and the magnesium then leaches into your body through the pores. Okay? It's a very, very underrated mineral. And about 99% of the people in the country are deficient in it. Okay? And of course, I mentioned beta-sitosterol, which comes from the avocado. And if you look at the avocado, what is it shaped like?
Yeah.
It had a strange name in Mexico. I can't even remember what it is, but the name translates as testicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see that nature doesn't do things by
Yeah, that's true.
randomly. Everything is there.
Yeah.
So it does look like a testicle,
It does.
and it benefits the genital area.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
I don't think there's anything else about it. Let me go back a little bit. I think that's about it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. We were talking about estrogen and testosterone.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something that reduces estrogen quite a lot, quite dramatically, actually. That's why it's called the estrogen antidote. Put a whole lemon in your juicer and blend it with a few green leaves, yeah, like spinach, and drink the concoction. Or you can freeze it, put on some gloves, and then grate it and drink it with water. And that's, the lemon skin contains a compound called diluminine, all right, which reduces the estrogen. And of course, with estrogen and testosterone fighting for space in your body, once the estrogen starts to go down, the testosterone rises. Got it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And of course, lemon juice is a very good detoxer and help cleanse out your liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the liver, of course, is the main organ for detoxification. So you want to keep it in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
So
I think I said a mouthful now.
yeah,
No,
that's been fantastic.
so
Right,
good.
before we go, if you could just talk about your scanning machine.
Yes, my scanning machine. I have a machine called a QRMA that actually scans the body. And it's been scientifically shown that all our organs should vibrate within certain frequencies. Okay? And what this machine does, it tests the frequency of the vibration of all your organs. And then it actually shows how your particular organ is vibrating compared with the scientific formula. And quite often, so many people have been, off key. And what I then do, I write a protocol for them telling them what they should eat and what lifestyle changes they should make to get those organs back to the right frequency.
Mm.
And remember, one of the greatest scientists that we haven't heard a lot of, but in the coming years we will hear, or months even, we're going to hear his name popping up quite a lot, is a fellow called Nikola Tesla.
Tesla, yeah.
And he said, to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, vibrations, and resonance. Yep. And
So
that's
how
where
long- how long
medicine
does
is.
that
That's where
process-
medicine is going.
Okay. So how long does that process normally take? If
Well,
somebody-
the scan itself takes a couple of minutes,
Mhm.
but then interpreting the scan is what takes up time. So the whole process will take about an hour.
Right.
And the scan will be a scan of your brain, your eyes, your thyroid, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your thymus, your gut, your bladder, yes, your spleen, your gallbladder, your prostate,
Yeah.
yep, your skeleton. All of those will be scanned.
Mm.
And if somebody's interested in this, where do they go? Who do they obviously they
Well,
contact you.
they
What are
can
the
get in
details?
touch with me. I believe I've got my details on this, if I may
Yeah. if you
scroll
could
through to the back.
put them up.
I think I have it here.
Yeah.
And for Fresh FM Radio London listeners, that would be Vasco Stevenson, telephone number 0772 556 7262. That's
Right.
0772 556 7262.
And you notice that there's a little word behind my regular surname, yes?
Bey, Vasco Stevenson Bey.
Right, that's my proper name now.
Okay.
I am now a Moor.
Okay. And if you would like to send an email, it's Vasco Stevenson, and that's Stevenson with an N for Nigeria, at yahoo.co.uk. That's Vasco Stevenson, and that's Stevenson with an N for Nigeria, at yahoo.co.uk. And that's the resonance body scanning. So Vasco, that's been great, and
Thank you so much.
thank you very much on behalf of Fresh FM Radio London.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Owen Winter, for being here, the founder of Fresh FM Radio London, and
Thank you
look
very
forward
much.
to seeing you all again on our next community wellness. And we certainly will be coming back to this issue relating to healthy eating for prostate health. And normally every Tuesday and Thursday at around 8 p.m, I think,
Yes, it is. 8.
we do cover prostate health. And we will be announcing our new program for the whole of 2022 very shortly. So thank you very much. And you can go to www.freshfmradiolondon.com, and this program will be on the website as well. That's www.freshfmradiolondon.com. Thank you and good night all.
Good night. Thank you. Stay tuned to Fresh FM.